Today. This is Glendora, and when all is said and done, the only thing that really matters is how did you treat others. I can hear you saying, that's true. I can hear you saying, that's right. When all is said and done, the only thing that really matters is how did you treat others. I got a joke for you. It was in the New York Thruway on one of those January nights, and one of those huge snowstorms came up, the wind blowing and the snow so thick, and it was between Buffalo and Rochester. And this poor man, he was on the Thruway, and he couldn't see hardly anything, and he was scared to death he was going to go into a ditch. And a car pulled in front of him, and he says, oh good, he probably knows the road. I'll follow those bright red taillights, and he'll keep me out of the ditch. Well, this went on for a long time. Just a minute, folks. Went on for a long time. And then finally a man up front stopped, and the man behind hit him, and the man behind me went to the man up front, and he says, why'd you stop so suddenly? Couldn't you have given me a signal? And the man up front said, in my own garage. Pause, honey.
Okay, here, sir. 4, 3, 2.
A woman has a car, and the name of the car is Flattery. Why? Because it won't get her anywhere. Folks, they're not going to publish a Chinese telephone book anymore. There are so many wings and so many wongs. People are winging the wrong number. A man bought a car, and it was a used car, and his friend says, well, what year is it? And the man says, I don't know. The odometer is in Roman numerals. This is April, and all my friends are scurrying around to make out their infernal revenue. Infernal revenue. But the infernal revenue was not so infernal to Glendora and her husband Franklin. The infernal revenue wrote us a letter and said, you don't have to pay taxes anymore unless your situation changes. Fade out, please, dear Valerie. Fade. No, my dear friends, my dear public access friends, we received an email from Mike Wassela, who is the president of the Alliance for Community Media, which is a name for the Public Access Trade Association in America. And he is very concerned about something I'm wondering if you are concerned about. And my friend is going to read you that email.
There is still time to sign up to join ACM in Washington, D.C. next month. We will be assembling on Capitol Hill on April 14th for Hill Day, and on April 15th, ACM will be hosting a community media summit at DCTV. The work in Washington is important, even if it seems that our federal government is totally dysfunctional sometimes. The threat of federal preemption of local franchising rights for state and local government continues this legislative session, and if the provisions included in H.R. 2289 were to pass, the major funding and distribution mechanisms of community television in the U.S. would effectively end. That is a future we have to prevent, and it means telling our story and why our services are important to Congress. So join us in D.C. for one or both days. I look forward to seeing you next month.
Now will you unpause? So now, my dear friends, we have before us public access television. To be or not to be? If we don't have public access television, how will that affect you? If we lose public access television, how will that bother you? This funding of public access television, it has a long history. But it goes back to the beginning of cable TV. When cable TV went to a city, to your city, they would ask the government if they could string their wires along your right-of-way, along your streets. And the city government says, well, you can, and we will give you a franchise to do so. And then the cities ask the cable companies to provide 3% of their monthly intake to the municipality. And then the municipality asks the cable company to start up studios to produce television programs. And that's the birth of public access TV. The cities paid for these studios. They paid the rent for the building. They bought cameras. They bought microphones. They bought lighting. They bought the control room equipment. But now the cable companies aren't doing that anymore. And this bill, if it goes through, says that the cable companies don't have to do it anymore. And now, where's the funding for public access going to come from? Please, think about this. And please, if you want public access to continue, please do something about it. Over and out. Brian Papalia in Jamestown, Chautauqua County. Try again, Glendora. Chautauqua County in western New York. Brian, thank you for renewing a chat with Glendora. Chautauqua County is where Joseph Smith and the Mormon Church originated. Next.
Christian Science.
Christian Science sent me a thank you note for $50. I didn't mean to send them $50. I meant to send the $50 to the Christian Science Church in Pittsfield, Massachusetts, but one of my dear friends sent it to Boston to the Mother Church. Okay.
ACM, $50.
Who?
ACM, Alliance for Community Media, $50.
Oh, Alliance for Community Media. I sent you that $50 as a down payment for my membership. I didn't send it as a donation. Next, honey.
Omar Flores.
Omar Flores. I asked Grady Hearn to send you the programs for April and May. Omar Flores is in QPTV. Public access in the borough of Queens.
Kenny Velez, Receive Shows.
Kenny is a sweetie pie. What else?
Kimberly Brown, Black Heart.
Yeah, what is that about, Kimberly, a Black Heart? I need more information, please. Kimberly Brown, I need more information on Black Heart.
Okay, we already talked about ACM Hill Day.
What about it?
We already talked about that. ACM Shelby.
What did Shelby say? Is there anything more below that?
It just says ACM Shelby. Let's skip that one. American Buddhist Society.
Well, wait a second. Yes, Shelby, you were saying that you received my nomination. You received my nomination that Chet was going to do, or should receive the George Stoney Humanitarian Award. And you sent out a second application, and then one of your questions was, why are you doing this? Why are you nominating yourself for it? And I said to her, because I want to be sure I'm nominated.
Okay, American Buddhist Society.
What did they say? Do you remember?
I don't remember off the top of my head.
Next.
DCTV has a user portal.
What about DCTV?
They have a user portal that you can log on.
Oh, okay. Next.
And that's the last announcement.
Well, thank you very much. Let's pause and find some more jokes for you.
2.
The patient said to the dentist, "Hey, doc, you still haven't pulled the right tooth." And the dentist says, "No, but I'm getting closer." A young man taking a test to work on the state dam, the first question was,